Hey everybody, Bruce here again with my views from Toon And today I'm going to talk a little bit about surfing and the role it played in my life and and in my family's life. Obviously, in the 50s and 60s, surfing started to become quite popular with all the young people around the country, the Beach Boys and, all the Frankie Avalon and movies, Ride the Wild Surf, all that sort of stuff, was kind of crazy and stupid in a lot of respects. But in any case, my brother, Kent, was the first to get involved in surfing, and he was mentored by guys older than him who were surfing, who were very nice to him. And so, of course, he started to get me involved, and I got my friends involved, primarily my buddy Bruce. And before you knew it, we were all surfing. And this was probably, for me, I was probably, late elementary school. And then we really got serious about it when I was in junior high school, middle school. And, initially, it wasn't that great of a thing because, we relied on my mother to take us to the beach. But, of course, my mother loved the beach, so that wasn't a big problem. He took us all the time. But once my brother turned 16 and he got my grandmother's car, this little red Valiant with a push-button transmission that I remember so well, then we went surfing as often as we possibly could. I mean, there was just no two ways around it. That was that. And, I remember, oh my gosh, I remember my mom, buying him his first surfboard. I remember my mom buying me my first board. It was this big old Hanson surfboard, weighed a ton, two times the size of me, Excuse me. But, what the heck? I did it. I would later get a second board that was a little bit smaller, a little easier to manage. That made things easier. And I can remember us, getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, pitch black, grabbing, sandwiches that my mother had made for us and whatnot, driving all over town to pick up Kent's friends, pick up Bruce, and then we would drive to the beach. So we were there at sunrise for the very first wave of the day. I remember that well. I mean, it was just, such a wonderful feeling to be alone on the beach, out on those waves at sunrise. I mean, it was just, there was a wonderful, wonderful feeling about that, And like everything, the apply myself rule that I've talked about before with me, I never did apply myself really hard to become a really good surfer. I became competent, but that's about as far as I would go. I was never really an ocean guy. I didn't really care for it. And back then we didn't have leashes, so if you fell off your board and it went under the beach, well, you were swimming into the beach to get it and then coming back out, There was no two ways around that. So, I never really liked being left without my board out in the ocean, swimming into the beach, wondering what in the heck was in the water with me. You know what I mean? Just wasn't something that I loved. And of course, I even got tagged by my board once. I fell off. I'm, in the water, under the water, and I feel this thump in my face. And the board had basically purled, popped out of the water, come back down, dropped in, tagged me right here under my eye. Unbelievable. I'm so fortunate I still have an eyeball, right? But oh man, when I came out of the water, blood coming down me, my mother was freaking out. Oh my God. I remember 13 stitches or whatever it was, and they made me put this jelly stuff on it and whatever. Then once I had done all the treatment, I realized you were telling me to put this jelly on there so the scar would go away and it would hardly be noticeable. I was so mad. And I was like, I wanted that big, ugly, nasty scar, man. So I was a dude. I got whacked and I took it, Oh, man, I was mad. I guess later in life, I'm glad you can hardly tell it's there. But, in any case. So we all became surf junkies and we surfed, up until well through our college years. Some of my friends still surf to this very day. I think my brother Kent probably could, but his knees are in such shape that he probably doesn't anymore. But he surfed, up until he was in his probably 40s and so forth. I quit surfing in my 20s. I just got tired of it and just really didn't care for it anymore. The beach and stuff. I mean, a testament to that is the fact that during the years I lived in California, I never went in the water once. I always went to the mountains, went to the snow, so I could go snow skiing. Just didn't care about surfing anymore. More interested in the snow. That was just me, you know. But when my brother was 16, there was one surf shop over in Cocoa Beach, which most people know, Ron John. And my father thought, hey, there's an opportunity to maybe make some money here. Let's open a surf shop. So he opened Kent's Surf Shop in College Park on Edgewater Drive here in town, and basically let Kent, his friends, me and my friends, run the place, which was crazy, But it was a small little place, nothing big, very, very teeny. But, we were selling used boards. We sold Bob White surfboards, which were really weird. We sold another guy's board, which was really kind of strange. But we hooked up with a guy in South Florida called Holmesy. And we sold Holmesy surfboards. And Holmesy's were custom-made surfboards, so no two were alike. And you could custom order a board from Holmesy, the shape, the height, the length, all that sort of stuff. So we primarily did our business with Holmesy surfboards, which was really cool because he did good work, And it was always fun because we would drive over to the airport to pick up the boards that he had shipped in, bring them home, unwrap them, oh man, these are cool, whatever. And it was always, you felt kind of bitching, when you would be hanging out in the surf shop, Kids come in, hey man, I'm looking for a board. What do you got? I need some slip check. How about some wax? Maybe a t-shirt, some, surf trunks, whatever. I mean, we had all the stuff. You would talk the trash, talk the surfing stuff. And it was really, really very cool. And I think my father had the right idea. But as weird as it may be, Ron John opened a store right next door to Kent Surf Shop. Go figure. Strange as it can be. I mean, what the hell did they need to be there for? They were just, I mean, in hindsight, we all know what this was all about. And then within about a month or two, Kent Surf Shop was broken into, stuff was stolen. Nobody ever touched Ron John. 8 months later, Kent Surf Shop was broken into again. Nothing was done with Ron John. Another 8 months, Kent Surf Shop broken into again. No one ever touched Ron John. At that point, my father said, enough is enough. I can't take the insurance losses. I can't deal with this. We're closing the shop. We close the shop. 6 months later, Ron John closes and they're gone. So you tell me, coincidence? I don't think so. I never can prove it, obviously. No way. But, I will always believe that the guys at Ron John had something to do with the fact that we were constantly being burglarized and they weren't. And they just wanted to drive that little teeny Kent Surf Shop out of business because they saw it as a threat. And it was never really a threat to them in any real sense of the word. But, what are you going to do? That's the way it goes. So, as for whatever it's worth, that's so long ago. Doesn't even matter today, but that was our little episode. But during that period, Kent got a van, a Ford Econoline van, Kent Surf Shop van, carpeting, paneling, all that inside. So now when we went to the beach, we could take a lot of people. And I mean, it was a boatload of people. And I teased my brother because he didn't recall that when we would go to the beach, we would stop at a little convenience store, and all the older guys would go in and occupy the guy at the counter, and they would tell me and my buddy Bruce, you guys go load your surf pants, your trunks, with all the honey buns and stuff you can stuff in there. Okay? So, I mean, we just did it because we were told to do it, and, there we were, shoplifters at a very early age, and we just did it, and we ran out to the car, sat in the car, there's, half a dozen honey buns, whatever. And we did that over and over and over again. Never thought twice about it, and we should have. But we never did, and we just, it was just one of those things we were crazy and stupid about. I mean, we would go to Cocoa Beach, and you had to pay to get on the beach. So we would drive around and try to find a place where there were no cops around, nobody really to hassle you, where we could actually drive up and over the dunes and get onto the beach. That worked most of the time. It was a pain in the ass on the van, obviously. It took a toll on the van. But there was once, and I remember distinctly, they sent me out to, look around. I looked around. I did not see this cop. I swear to God I didn't see him. I'm like, come on, come on, come on. My brother comes bounding over the fucking dunes and drops in on the beach. And bingo, there's the cop. Get a ticket. Great. I will never live that one down. Everyone on that day remembers that and brings that up to me every time we talk about it. So, what are you going to do? I was young, I was stupid, I made my mistake, But those were some very wonderful years because we all experienced a lot of things. We all, during that period of the surfing, got into all the music of that period, which was just wonderful, and sent me on a musical journey that I have been on my entire life. And, we made a lot of friends that we still have to this very day, from all of that. And we engaged in a lot of experiences we wouldn't have had otherwise. And we started to do drugs, we started to experiment, marijuana, and so forth. So the whole surfing was just a wonderful, wonderful thing. And I miss surfing to some degree. It was something I loved. I wish I was a youngster today and could go to those water parks, where they got those perfect wave machines and whatnot. Oh man, that would just be killer. What a great place to really learn how to surf, I mean, the east coast of Florida, yeah, we had waves. They were never really good waves, generally speaking. But, we had them. Whatever. So, a wave machine, though, oh, man, that would have really, really been cool. So, in memory of Kent's Surf Shop, a great, great time and a great experience. And to those of my buddies who are still surfing today, God bless you. Keep going. Hang in there. And, you're making us all look good. So, that's it for my lovely trip down Surfing Lane. We'll catch you on the next video. Peace. And remember, hang 10.